we are going to see what SAP is and what ERP, how R3 evolved into ECC. So all these concepts we are going to see. Okay. So SAP stands for Systems, Applications and Products in Data Processing. Now this is the full form for SAP. So we have to say SAP, not SAP. Okay. Because this is an acronym. Now, before we go ahead with what SAP is and all, we will have to see how SAP came into picture. Okay. So for that, we need to discuss what ERP is. SAP is one of the ERP packages. Now, what is ERP? We are going to see what ERP in slide number 8. Now, we will be coming back to slide number 1 and I will be explaining to you all about this SAP. Now, I'm going to slide number 8. Now, we are discussing what ERP here. Now, ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. Now, what is the definition for this ERP? ERP is a suite of integrated applications that a company can use to store and manage data. So, ERP facilitates information flow or data flow between all business functions. Now, why there has to be information flow or data flow, or as I told you, ERP is a suite of integrated applications. Now, why there has to be integration? So to explain you on this, I will be taking the example of Walmart. Okay. So Walmart, if you see, suppose I'm the customer to Walmart. So I'm placing regular orders or irregular orders. Now, whichever order it is, whether it is regular or irregular, Walmart has, they should be able to supply the order. Okay. So sometimes I will be placing the order regularly or irregularly, whether it is a very big order. Okay. So even if it is a very big order, if it is placed regularly or irregularly, they should be able to meet that order. They should be able to supply. Now, how they are doing it? How will they know? Okay, so they have to procure the goods in order to fill up their warehouse. They will be having the stores or warehouses. Okay, so they will have to stock up the warehouse. Now, how they are stocking up? They are procuring the material either from the vendor. See, they will be having their own supply chain, right? So whether it is global sourcing means they are sourcing all the material from the manufacturers, directly from the manufacturers worldwide. So this is one of the aspect in the supply chain, in their supply chain. And next, if you see, Walmart is also into manufacturing their own products. So they will be following some manufacturing principles like just in time or lean manufacturing to be able to meet the orders and stock the warehouses. Okay, so they have to keep at the same time, they have to keep their inventory optimal, and there has to be continuous flow of what? Of the material only. Okay, of the supplies. Okay, so thereby they have to minimize. See, similarly, they have to see all these. They have to minimize the waste also. Okay, now Walmart also follows technology driven operations for the procurement. So they are employing machine learning, okay, and also predictive analysis to improve the demand. See, I'm telling only the examples. Okay, I'm taking the example of Walmart and I'm explaining to you what ERP is. Okay, so they are employing AI, machine learning, and also predictive analysis to improve the demand forecasting. Okay, so while doing all these in Walmart, they're coming across various departments like global sourcing. If you see, purchasing department is taking the responsibility of the global sourcing, And if you see manufacturing principles they are following, right? Just in time and lean manufacturing. Production department is taking the responsibility of this. And the technology driven operations like employing AI, machine learning. So who is taking the responsibility? Same, the procurement department. They are collaborating with their technical department. Okay, technical team or technical department. Okay, and they also collaborate with the vendors, okay, for the replenishment of the material. Now here who is coming into picture? Again the warehouse department, quality check department, all these departments are coming in. Now question is, if each and every department is using their own application to update their own data, suppose into purchasing department in Walmart, I'm using my own application to enter the orders. Okay, purchasing department, right? So I'm placing a purchase order on the vendor. So my own data means the purchase order data. I'm entering in my application. Now the data which I entered in my system or application, how will the other departments come to know? Other departments means, as I told you, the warehouse department, quality check department, production department, procurement, other departments. How will they come to know? Question is why they have to know. Okay, so why they have to know means procurement department, if you see now, when the purchase department is procuring the goods from the vendor for the production process, then the production department will be able to go ahead with their production. Okay, so there is dependency. Okay, not just between the purchasing department and the production department, even if you see the finance department also. So what is the responsibility of finance department person? Making the payments, getting the payments from the debtors, that means the customers. Okay, so how will I be able to know that from so and so vendor, so from so and so customer I need to get the payment, to so and so vendor I need to make the payment? Only when the invoices have been entered by the purchase department and sales department. They are the people who are directly interacting with the vendors and customers, right? So they are posting the invoices, okay, in the system. So as a finance person, I will be able to know with the help of those invoices, okay, so and so vendor is due for the payment, I need to make the payment to them. And so customer, okay, I need to get payment from them. So this is how I will be able to know, though I did not enter the invoices by myself. As a finance person, I will be able to know my own data. Okay, so the data is entered by production person, the data is entered by purchasing person or salesperson, whoever it is. Okay, so from my end, I will be able to know what is happening and what I need to do next. So to achieve this, we have this ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. In enterprise resource planning, it is integrated. What is integrated? Integrated integration between the functions. Now what is functions here? Functions means the departments only. See, FI is a function, purchasing is a function, and production is a function. All these are functions, nothing but the departments. Okay, so there is integration between the departments so that the data flow is happening between the departments. Able to understand, everyone? Why do we have to have ERP? If you have any questions, you can ask me. Okay, so now did everybody understand what ERP is? Why do we have to have ERP? Okay, so this is the reason why we have to have ERP. There should be integration between the functions. Functions is nothing but the departments. Department is nothing but the modules. When it comes to ERP language, we call the departments as modules. FI module, financial accounting, is FI. It is a department, right? Finance is a department. But in ERP language, we call it a module. Okay. Now, sales and distribution, it is a department, but we call it a module when it comes to ERP language. So we discussed what ERP is with the help of Walmart example. Okay. So I'm going back to what SAP is now. Okay. So now why did we discuss what ERP is? Because SAP is one of the ERP applications. Now, what is the objective that we are getting out of this ERP? A unified real time system. Okay, unified solution we are getting, unified solution for single time object creation. Now what is this single time object creation? Object means a data, it could be any data, it could be transaction data, it could be master data. Okay, it could be any data. Transaction means what? Some transaction is happening in my company, so booking that transaction, it could be like a sales transaction, a purchase transaction, a payment transaction, payment receipt or payment made, whichever it is, all these are transactions only. Single time object creation means what? Single time a transaction creation. Now as I told you, when the purchasing person is entering the invoice from the vendor, okay, he has already entered the invoice. Now as a finance person, why do I have to enter the same invoice again when I'm able to see the same invoice from my own system, from my own application? My application is, my module is FI, and the purchasing person module is or purchasing. Means material management. Okay, so when he is entering the invoice in his own module in ERP system, I will be able to see in FI module the same invoice I will be able to see. Okay, so single time object creation. Object, I told you, transaction. So any object, if you see, it could be transaction data or it could be master data. Okay, any object, if you see, it will be created only once, thereby reducing the redundancy. Data redundancy means data repetition. Okay, master data means what? We will be discussing that. Okay, master data means data about a particular customer, data about a particular vendor, data about a particular asset or a GL account. All these are master data. We will be discussing all those terms in the coming sessions. Okay, so now SAP stands for System Applications and Products in Data Processing. SAP is one of the ERP applications. Now, it was founded in the year 1972 in the city Waldorf in Germany. Okay, so now SAP is, we are going to the next slide. SAP is a table driven customization software. Table driven means what? Whatever data that we are entering in SAP is stored in tables. Okay, in ECC, we will have to remember many table names. But when it comes to S4 HANA, okay, all the FI data, one single table is there, AC docking. But in ECC, we will have to remember so many table names, which I will be telling you in the coming sessions. No need to get frightened at all. All those table names we can remember very, very easily. I will tell you some logic to remember the table names. Okay, so it will become easy for you to remember. Okay, now SAP applications built around their latest R3. R stands for real time data processing. Okay, the latest version of R3 includes a comprehensive internet enabled package. Now, what is this R3, R1, R2? What are all these? It is the architecture in SAP. Okay, now architecture. R1 means, this was in the very, very beginning, single tier architecture. Okay, so the structure had presentation layer, application layer, and database layer installed in only one server. So they had many problems with this. Okay, especially the speed issues, the performance bottlenecks. So they evolved into R2. This is the evolution. So it is not that compulsorily you need to remember what R1 is, R2 is, no need at all. This is just the basics. Okay. Now, R2. R2 means what? Two-tier architecture. So in this, we had two separate servers. Earlier, only one server was there, no, in R1. Now we have two different. What are they? One server has presentation layer, the other one has application and database layer. But this also had some bottlenecks, some issues they have. Okay, so that is the reason why they evolved into R3. Okay, now even R3 is evolved into ECC now. Okay, so now R3, 3 means three-tier architecture, client server architecture. Server 1 had presentation layer. Presentation layer is also called GUI. We call it GUI. Okay, graphical user interface. The screen which you are seeing on my system, SAP screen. I did not open it. I will be opening it now. Okay, so the SAP screen which you see, which I will be opening now, is the presentation layer. Whatever SAP screen you see on your system is a presentation layer. It is also called graphical user interface. It is interacting with the user, right? So graphical user interface. Server 2 had the application layer. Now what is this application layer? It is the brain for this architecture. It is a runtime environment. It is executing all the business logic, transaction, and the background jobs. Okay, so presentation layer means the face. Okay, whatever you see on your screen, SAP screen. Okay, now here what are we doing on the screen? We are entering the data. Okay, we are doing the file transport, validation, substitution, all these we are doing. Okay, so that is the face, presentation layer. Application layer is the background. Okay, whatever happening, what you see, we are entering the data. What is happening with the data? Executions and all will be happening in the application. Okay, and finally we have the database layer. The database layer. Now it is also a dedicated server will be there for this database layer. Okay, now as I told you, SAP is a table driven customization software. So all the data whatever we are creating in SAP is stored in tables. Okay, so that is the database layer. All the tables, all the data in the tables will be present in the database layer. RDBMS means what? Relational Database Management System. Relations tables. Relations means tables. In this language, in the DBMS language. Okay. So this is storing the master data, transactional data. I told you, object means data. What data? Master data and transaction data. All these we will be seeing in SAP. The master data, transaction data. Of course, apart from this, configuration data, we will also be seeing. So R3 means what? R3 means the three-tier architecture. What are those three tiers? All this, the presentation layer, application layer, and the database layer. Because SAP is table-driven, RDBMS, customization software, that is the reason why all the data is stored in tables. Why it has to stored in tables? Because it is easy for us later point of time, it will become easy for us to retrieve the data. It is not just we are entering the data and we are keeping it aside. It is not that, right? After 2 3 years or after a long time, suppose we want to retrieve the data, what has happened 2 years ago or just 1 year ago, how we will get the data? Okay, we can get the data easily from the tables. That is the reason why we are storing all the data in tables. Okay. Now, presentation layer, the screen that you see, okay, is the presentation layer. Application layer, we cannot see this. Application and database layers, we cannot see because those are background. Okay, in the application layer, all the execution is happening. Okay, and in the database layer, it is storing all the data in table. Now, I hope everybody understood this R3 concept. Okay, now R3 is involved. Yeah, okay. It is having so many clients. Okay, R3 architecture, if you see, it is having so many clients. Multi-client concept we will be able to see in SAP. Now, if at all you come across any new term, okay, kindly do not worry because all these in detail again we will be seeing in the coming sessions. Okay. Now, what is this client number? 000 001 066. What is this? Now, let me show you this one. Now, I'm opening SAP screen. I'm opening SAP screen. Okay. So, if you see, now this is the logon pad. SAP logon pad. Okay. It is there on my system. All this, I mean, you will have to install. Our support team will help you to install. Okay. Logon pad. Now, double click. I'm opening GUI. I told you, right? Now, this is the one that I'm accessing. Client 800. You are able to see, right? Now, what is this 800 client? It is the client number. Now, what is this client number? All this we will be discussing now. Okay. So, this is the client concept. 000 001 0. All this we will be coming across in real time. Real time means the moment we are working in the company as a consultant, as SAP FICO consultant. Okay, in real time, we will be able to see in much detail. Okay, so client is an independent system having its own data. Okay, now we shall see. ECC. What do you mean by this ECC? Now, till now, we discussed what R3 is, how R3 is evolved into ECC. ECC stands for ERP Central Component. It is the current standard enterprise resource planning. ERP, I told you SAP is ERP, right? So it is current ERP system for SAP. So ECC means what? ERP for SAP. Okay? Enterprise Resource Planning Central Component, the full form. Okay, so it is representing the consolidated version of R3 for modern enterprise deployment. Now, if you see the difference, R3 ECC, it is third generation and this is fourth generation evolution. Okay, now this is mobile ready also. You can access from mobile also. From your mobile also, you can access ECC. Now the latest version, okay, enhancement package. Okay, EHP stands for enhancement package. EHP levels means what? Instead of upgrading the entire version, SAP is splitting it into unit so that upgradation is done only on that unit. Okay, and the next version is started. Like earlier we had ECC 6 some 10 years ago, then ECC 7. What is this 6, 7, 8? These are EHP levels. ECC 6, it has gone. EHP 7, also it has gone. Now we will be working on ECC EHP 8, Enhancement Package 8. Okay, so this is the updated version. Okay, EHP means what? Any updates are there, they are introducing in it. Okay, so all these are the differences. All these in detail you need not know. Okay, so just go through the basics. So this is a 3-tier client server. This is 3-tier with cloud options. Okay, so this is the main difference between R3 and ECC. Okay, this ECC means fourth generation evolution, which is also mobile ready. And here we are using EHP levels. Till now in R3, we did not have EHP, enhancement package. We did not. But in ECC, yes, we are having EHP levels. What is this EHP? Enhancement packages. Any new introduction or any updations which are done, okay, are introduced in these levels: EHP 6, EHP 7, EHP 8. Currently, we are dealing with EHP 8, which is the newest enhancement package level. Okay.
Ma'am, I have one more question. Sorry.
Yeah.
So in Bangalore, there are a lot of now they're saying that it is S4 HANA, but you said it is ECC. So
Even if you're learning S4 HANA, if you have the basics of ECC, it will be easier for you to learn S4 HANA. Okay. This session, this entire batch is not for SAP. I mean, it's not for S4 HANA. It is only ECC. Okay. But even if you would want to learn S4 HANA, ECC is very much useful. It will become easy for you to understand S4 HANA. See, S4 HANA is about deltas differences. Okay. Some differences were introduced. That is S4 HANA. Okay. All the concept is ECC only. Okay. ECC plus delta is equal to S4 HANA with cloud. Yeah.
so again, S4 HANA also.
Yeah, of course. In order to learn S4 HANA, you need to take up S4 HANA course again. Next, please.
Oh, is there any impact with this AI evolution with SAP?
Is there any
impact with this AI evolution, that is artificial intelligence? Is there any impact with this?
No, not at all.
Oh, this is fully functional, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
There is not a single solution for each and every issue. We need to do a lot of analysis in SAP.
Okay. Thank you.
Next.
Will SAP supports ECC after 2027?
Definitely not. Okay, but each and every year they are extending. But each and every year they are extending. Do not know what will happen after 2027. Okay. Last year also they extended. 2 years ago also they extended. But companies are using ECC.
So again, we have to enroll in S4 HANA, right? So it's
In
mandatory.
order to learn S4 HANA, yes, you need to. Cloud is there, private cloud is there, on-time premises is also there. So there are so many things to learn. Okay, it is not just S4 HANA you're learning, it is entirely over. So many are there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, next. See, I'll tell you what. If you are learning S4 HANA directly, okay, it will be very confusing. For most of the persons I've seen, it will be very confusing. Now they come back again asking for ECC, okay, because all the basics, all the transactions of each and everything will be covered here. So if you know ECC well, you will be able to understand S4 HANA better. Okay, that is how it is.
I have one question, like, is there any migration path from ECC to HANA or?
Yes, migration is there. Yeah, migration's definitely there, but we cannot show those migrations in the demo system. Okay. Overview we can give. How does it happen in real time? We can tell you, but we cannot show. In demo systems, we cannot show those.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, please. Next, please.
I have one question. So, I would like to know what is this public in SAP actually?
Yeah, see, actually, as I told you, concepts can be discussed one by one. Okay. But as I told you, this is ECC. Only after you learn S4 HANA, you will be able to understand what those are. Okay. That later point of time after learning S4 HANA, I mean, those will be discussed.
Okay.
Next.
Yeah, now this S4 HANA and RISE methodology. What is the difference in that?
RISE, you're asking me?
Yeah, RISE, SAP RISE, because they are going for ECC if you have to migrate.
Okay.
So RISE is better now. So S4 HANA or RISE?
S4 HANA only. But see, RISE methodology, I will be telling you. SAP Activate methodology, SAP Agile methodology, all this I'll be telling you. Okay. But as I told you, concept will be given. We cannot show anything, migration or anything, we cannot show on the demo system at all. Okay. We can tell you all the concepts. All this I'll tell you. All the methodologies I'll be telling you. Yeah. So we were discussing this ECC, how it evolved from R3. So ECC, as I told you, it is ERP central component. Okay. It is a consolidated successor to R3. Okay. So as I told you, EHP means enhancement package. Instead of a full version upgrade, we will be using enhancement packages in ECC. That is the main difference between R3 and ECC. In R3, EHPs will not be there. Entire full upgradation we used to do, full version upgradation we used to do when it was R3. But now we are not doing full version upgrade. We are splitting the entire version into some units. Those units are enhancement packages. Okay. So any upgradation done in that unit, we will be giving it a separate level. Level means like we are numbering it 6, 7, 8. Okay. So now it is EHP 8. Okay. So earlier it was EHP, then now 7. So any incremental innovations, whichever are there, those are done via enhancement packages. So this is what we were discussing here. Okay. So next, ERP, we had already discussed in the very, very beginning. Okay. So what I was telling is ECC, as I told you, is a consolidated successor to R3 instead of a full version upgrade. When it was R3, we used to do full version upgrade. Now it is ECC, wherein we are doing the any incremental innovations, any changes, upgradations are there, we are doing via enhancement packages. This is the main difference between R3 and ECC. In ECC, we have the enhancement packages. In R3, we did not have this. Okay, we did not have any EHP in. So now in ECC, we have. This is the main difference. Now, ERP, we have already discussed in the very, very beginning. These are all the departments. Departments means modules when it comes to ERP language. Now, landscape. What is this landscape? Landscape in SAP terminology refers to the complete collection of SAP systems and their interconnections within an organization. Now, what do you mean by this? Okay, let us see. In next slide, we are going to see. Now, if you see, this is the landscape. Landscape contains development system, quality system, production system. Now, let me tell you, each and every project is not the same. Not every project is the same when it comes to SAP. Okay. So when we are working as a consultant, suppose we might work for a manufacturing company or retail company, real estate, FMCG, whatever it is, their requirement differs. Okay. Now, basing upon the requirement only, we will be deciding upon the landscape. Now, this is the basic one. The one which I'm showing to you now is a basic landscape. Okay. So now, development system, quality, and production system. Now, what is the difference between all these three? Development. In some projects, if you see, development is also called sandbox. Okay. Not in each and every project. In some projects, if you see, development system is also called sandbox. In some projects, we will be seeing sandbox as a different system from development. It comes prior to development. Like 4 boxes, you will be able to see. First sandbox, then development, then quality, then production. In some projects. In some other projects, development is also called the sandbox. It differs from project to project. Okay. Now, why there has to be a separate sandbox system? Sandbox refers to a dedicated client or server environment used primarily for experimentation, prototyping, and practice. Now I'll tell you. See, I got some requirement from my client company. Okay. So they asked me to give some solution to their problem. Now what I'm doing is I'm proposing 5 different number of solutions, but which one will work? What if I implement all those 5 solutions in development? My development system will cram up. For one single problem, if I'm giving 5 different solutions, or might be 10. Okay. So what about 100 number of issues? How many solutions will I implement? And which one has to be transported to quality and production? Okay. My development system will cram up if I do like that. Now, for that reason, we will be having a separate sandbox system wherein all the experimentation, Okay, I'm proposing 5 different, you give 10 different solutions also. Okay, but that will be implemented, configured in sandbox system. In sandbox system, whatever 10 different solutions are there, I'm implementing and I'm checking whether it is working or not. The one which is working perfectly, only I will be moving to development. I will be doing configuration and development. Okay, so in development, I'm controlling. It is a controlled environment. Whereas sandbox, it is freely, okay, to do any experimentation. It is a playground, okay, for consultants. Whereas development, quality, production, these are controlled environments. Okay, of course, the production is much more controlled than quality. Okay, quality is much controlled than development. Okay, so whichever solution that is working in this sandbox, I will be configuring in the development system, and then I will do some testing in development to see whether it is really working or not. Yes, if it is working, that testing is called unit testing. The testing which we do in development system is called unit testing. So if it is working fine, then I will be moving that particular solution configuration to next higher system called quality system, quality assurance or quality system. Now, here also, after moving all the data from development to quality, I will be doing testing again here in quality. Okay, so I will ask my end user means the client company, their employees, to do some testing in quality. So the testing performed by end users in quality system is called user acceptance testing, UAT. Okay, now end users will not have access to development system. Only consultants will be having access to development, and this is the reason why end users will not be able to do anything in development system. They will have access to quality and production, whereas we consultants will have access to sandbox, development, quality and production based on the authorizations only. It is not that I'm free to do anything in development, quality and production as a consultant. Depends on project to project. Okay, so now end user does UAT, and then he will be confirming, okay, saying that okay, I have done, okay, so and so testing, and he is giving the confirmation for what, to move the configuration to next higher system called production. How we are moving all these? With the help of transport request from development to quality or from quality to production. How we are moving the data? With the help of the transport request. Okay, so what is the transport request? I'll be telling you. Now we will be moving the changes to production system. In some companies, if you see, copy of a production system will be there, wherein it is coming into picture in between. It is a different system again between quality and production. Copy of production will be there. Okay, so they are doing all the testing in that copy system. Okay, now see, deviations or differences might come in production, though we had tested rigorously in development and quality. Okay, that is the reason why we take a copy of production and we do all the testing over there. Okay, and then we are moving to the actual production system. Okay, because this is highly restricted, the access is highly restricted. In those cases, what we will be doing, we take a copy of a production system to do all the testing again. Okay, so much of testing will be performed both by consultants as well as end users. Okay, now understood everyone? This is the basic landscape. Please don't think it will be the same in each and every project. No, it will not be the same. Depending upon their businesses and the size of their operations, it will vary. Now I'll tell you how it will vary. Just take the development system. Under development, again, the development will be split. Development 1, development 2. Development 1 will be named 000. What is that 000? It is the client number. And development 010. Again, what is this 3-digit number? It is the client number. Now, what is that client number? Let me show you. Yeah, 3-digit. Okay. So in real time, what you will be able to see? 000 or 010. Okay. The number could be anything. It is decided by themselves, not by the consultants. But here we had 800, no? In the beginning, it was 800. 800 is the client for the IDES. IDES is the demo server. For demo server, the client number is 800. What is this 800? These are the client numbers used by SAP company. SAP, it is not decided by me or by any just consultant, any SAP consultant. These numbers are provided by SAP AG company. Now, what do you mean by client? Client is a self-sufficient system having its own data. Okay, so now come back to see. Now, as I told you, in development, again, in very, very big companies, the development is split into two. So one is named client number 000, another one is named client number 010. These numbers can differ also. Okay. So in 000, we will be implementing the solution, whatever we have finalized in sandbox, we will be implementing in 000, and whichever is working fine. Suppose I implemented two solutions in development 000, and which is working fine. Suppose one solution is working in 000. So that particular solution out of two solutions, okay, which is working fine, I will be moving to 010 client in development, and I will be doing the testing in 010. Okay, so if the development system is split into two clients, what does it mean? One client will be used for one purpose, another client will be used for another purpose. One client, I'm entering all the data, another client, I'm doing all the unit testing. Unit testing means testing done in the development system. So if I tell furthermore, it will be a little bit confusing for the beginners. Okay, so just remember that the systems can be split also, but depending upon the size of the companies, not each and every project will be following the same. Okay, so multi-client, this is what I told you. Okay, multi-client means, as I told you, development will be split. Not just the development, even the quality and production can also be split. Okay, so in that case, one client will be maintained for one purpose, another client will be maintained for some other purpose. Which purpose? It is their wish, the company's, okay, the client company's wish. Okay, see, this is the logical partitioning, client concept. More about client. A client is a self-contained unit within the system. Okay, it is having its own data. Okay, just now I told you, right? So 100, 200, I told you 000, 010, it could be 100, 200. Okay, depending upon which one you are using. And these are named by SAP AG. It is not named by me. Okay, see, like this. 100 is used for only configuration. Configuration means setup. And 110 is used for only testing. And 200 is used for training purpose, like that. Okay, so each client is meant for some purpose. Okay, now let us see next. Organization structure. Now, what do you mean by this organization structure? Organization structure in SAP is a hierarchical arrangement of the organizational entities that define how the company conducts business. How the company conducts business. That means what? Again, based upon the business of your client company, the organization structure might vary. Okay. Now, organization structure consists of organization units. What are these organization units? Organization units are company code, cost center, profit center, chart of accounts, controlling area. All these are organization units only. Now, how will I know organization structure in any company? Now, I'm opening SAP screen. I'm going to show you SAP screen here, everyone. Everybody is able to see my screen. I opened SAP. Okay. So, organizational object. Okay. So, if you see here, organization structure for any company can be seen here. Now, till now, I haven't created any organization structure. Okay, so that is the reason why I do not have anything here. Now, once I create something, I will be able to see here. Now, how to create? Now, I'm creating the organization structure. Let me start with company code. What do you mean by company code in SAP? In SAP, company code means a legal entity. Okay, it is a business, a legal entity, wherein it can have its own financial transactions. Okay, you can draw financial statement for this company code. Financial statements means what? The profit and loss account, the balance sheet, okay, for this company code. So this is a legal entity. Now let me create my own company code. So for creating company code, I go to new entries. Okay, I give some name to company code. This is a 4-character or 4-digit alphanumeric one. I can give any name here. Okay, so let me give the name, not this one. So I told you company code means business. Suppose if I take example of Tata Group, okay, Tata Group is a group company. Under group, they will be having their own businesses like Tata Steel, Tata Motors, Tata Consultancy Services, that means IT, and Tata FMCG. So these are the different businesses or company codes they are handling under the group called Tata. So Tata is a group. Under the group, they have different businesses. Those businesses are the company codes. As I told you, taking Tata example, Tata Motors is a company code, which is a business. Tata Consultancy Services is a business. Tata Steel is a business. FMCG is also a business. So based on that, let me give Tata IT. Okay, IT services. So I'm creating a new one like this. I can create city, which city it is located in. Okay, I'm giving. Okay, I'm selecting a country name. I'm selecting currency name, and I'm selecting the language. You can select from this list of values. This is list of values. Okay, selecting like this. Okay, this is list of values. I can select from here if I want. Okay, now I gave all that data and I save. Now while saving, star is there. Star means mandatorily you will have to fill that particular in. Now when I'm saving, okay, where did 0 come from? 1 minute. There was a typing mistake, that is why it came like. Now I say save. Okay, there's some error. I'll check this error. Okay, but let me show you some other example. The existing one I will show you. 0001 company code. If you see, this is a company code. So company code means what? It is a legal entity. Okay, so kindly remember these kind of errors will not come, but sometimes we cannot expect. So this is a company code. Okay, so company code means a business, a legal entity. So this is how we are creating the legal entities or the businesses under the group. So here if you take our own example, Tata is a group. Under that Tata group, we are having the company codes or the legal entities. Now, where is that group? That group can be created here, internal trading partner. Okay, so this is a group wherein we can create a group here. Let me see if same error is coming here or not. So Tata is a group. So I am taking the group of companies. Why one more, field is that this is called a field. Field is a place wherein we can enter the data in SAP. So company name of company. Again, why 2 number of fields are there? Because this field you can use for your own local language. You can enter the name in your own local language. Okay. So you can fill up the data here. Language, currency. Okay. Now it is saving here. Now this is the transport request. Now, how to create a transport request, a new one, how to creating a request, giving some name to it. I say save. I gave the name as this one. Request number is not generated. It will be generated now. Okay. And this is my username. Okay. And this is a new one, new transport request created in this client. Okay. Now I say save. See, the request number, the transport request number has been generated now. Now it is showing customizing request. In SAP, we will have two types of transport request. One is workbench, another one is customizing. Now, what is the difference between those two? I will be telling you. Now it is saying data is saved. Okay. Now, where is that saved data gone to? Now, let me see. Just now we created one TR, transport request, and we stored some data into it. Okay. So this is my username. With this username, whatever customizing transport request, workbench transport request, whatever I've created, I will be able to display from here. I said, now this is the one that we created just now, right? So with my username, I've created one transport. Now what is this one again? Okay, this is a child TR. Whenever I'm creating any TR, a child TR gets created by itself. So this is an automatic one. This is the one which I have created. Now under this child TR, if you see, this is the table name. I told you SAP is table driven. So any data that you are creating will be stored in the tables. Now this is the proof. This Tata group of companies, the one which we created, okay, just now in 800 client, is stored in this table. Okay. So this is how it will be stored. Now question is, what is this customizing request and what is the workbench request? The difference between these two is customizing TR. If you see, of course, any configuration changes that you are doing will be stored in customizing request. If at all you would want to move this TR to next higher system, you can definitely do that. But if you want to move this TR under the same system but to a different client, just now I told you development is split into two clients. Okay, development is one system, it is split into two clients. Okay, now if it is customizing TR, then you will have to move from one development client to another development client. But when it comes to workbench TR, you need not move between the two clients under the same system. Now, if we are taking the same example again, two development clients under one single development system, if you see, I need not move this workbench TR from one development client to another development client under the same system, under the same development system. Why? Because even without moving also, the data which is stored in the workbench request will be moved to the other development client, even without moving. Okay, so in order to move the data from one system to the other system or from one client to another client under the same system, I have to have some TR, which is the customizing TR. Only then I will be able to see the data in the next higher system or the next higher client. Okay, I'm moving the data which is included in the transport request to the next higher system or the next higher client. Okay, only then I will be able to see the data in the next higher client or next higher system. But what is happening with the workbench TR? Even if I do not move this workbench TR to the next higher client under the same system, I will be able to see the data. Understood, everyone? Okay, this is the main difference between customizing TR and a workbench TR. I've shown you the TR also, how it looks like. Okay, this is how a TR looks like, whether it is customizing or workbench. Okay, same from the same screen you can access. access, and it will look the same. Okay, what is contained in the TR? The child TR is there. So many child TRs we can create under the same single parent TR. Like this, multiple child TRs we can have under the same parent TR. Under this child TR, we will be able to see the table name. Okay, this is the table name which is storing the group of companies data. I went to transaction code OX15 to internal trading partner, which is the group of companies. Okay, I've created group of companies name, right? Okay, just now I created. So this group of companies name is stored in that particular table only. So each and every type of data will be stored in each and every table. Okay, different tables will be having different data. Okay, so what are important tables that you need to remember? How to remember all this I will be telling you in the next sessions, in the further sessions. Okay, now organization structure we were discussing. Organization structure depends upon the business. So as I told you, our Tata group had these many types of businesses. So those many company codes I have created. What if a particular company is having only one business, only one company code I'll create? In that case, I will not, I need not create any group. Group means it is having multiple businesses, more than one businesses. So only one company code means I need not have the group. Okay, now business area means location. Okay, location of that particular company code where it is operating. Okay, now what if it is operating under single location? What if it is operating under multiple locations? Likewise, based on that only I will be creating. Now business area OX04. Okay, business area. Now, for creating a new one, I say new entries. Okay. Now, which location? Okay. You give some name. So you can give name I'm giving. Okay. It is a 4-character one. So this is a location. This is a 4-character one. So my business is present in these many locations. See, it is asking for a TR. Now it is my wish to store under the same parent TR or a different parent. Okay, so I can create a new one from here if I want. Now let me create a new one, or shall I use the same? So let me show you how it is storing under the same TR. So this is the same own request. If you see whatever TRs I have, it will show. Now let me select the same TR and I say save. Any data that you are creating in SAP will be stored in TR. Okay. But remember, it has to be configuration data. Master data will not be stored in a TR. Now let me go to the TR. Now I say display. Now I created the locations or the business area, right? It will be storing under the different table. See, different tables. I gave these locations only, no? Okay, it is storing under the different table. Okay, now each and every type of data will be stored in a different table in SAP. Okay, now let me go back. Now business area. What if my company is having is operating from a single location, only one business area? Okay, so how many business areas you are creating? It depends upon the requirement. Okay, now plant means factory. Okay, I could have a single factory or multiple. Yeah, please. Okay, so all these organization structure we will be seeing in the coming sessions. Same way we are going to create. Okay, so if you see chart of accounts, this is also part of the organization structure. Okay, now how to create chart of accounts? Again, the same way, you need to know the transaction code. Okay, or you need to know the navigation. Okay, navigation means the path. Okay, this is the transaction code. Now I enter transaction code, which you can see here. I'm moving the cursor on the top right OB. This is the transaction code. Okay, now I say new entries. Okay, what is my chart of accounts name? You can give name, you can give anything. So I'm giving like this. For this company, I'm creating chart of accounts. Okay, now I say chart accounts. Okay, in detail about this, I will be telling you in the further sessions. Okay, this is just for demo purpose I'm showing you. Now I say save. Again, let me create a new TR here. Create request, new TR. Okay, I'm giving some name. I say save. See, a new TR got generated. Now let me go to SC10. See, I'm giving the transaction code. I'm giving the transaction code here. This field means any place in SAP where you can enter the data is called a field. Okay, now this is a field, this is a field, this is a field, all these are field. But this field is specifically called command field. I'm giving some command here, which is a transaction code. So system will take me to that particular screen. Okay. Now I say enter. Now I say display. Now here, this is the one which got generated just now, chart of accounts. Now let me click here. Again, just now I told you child TR gets created on its own automatically. This is the parent TR and this is the child TR. Now let me just click like this. Now this is the table. Okay. So chart of accounts will be stored in this table. Now what is the auxiliary other table? We will be discussing this again. Okay. This is, this is also storing the data, but chart of accounts is specifically stored in T004. Okay. What are the other table that get generated? I will be telling you in the further sessions. Okay. Now navigation. So when I open SAP screen, this is the screen I will be able to see, which is easy access. The moment I open, the moment I log in, this is the screen I will be able to see. This is my username, easy access. Easy access screen is the screen which can be accessed by consultants and end users also. End users will be posting their transactions from this screen only. And consultants, if at all they want to work on some transactions, they can access this screen also. Now, consultants will be having access to some other transactions. What are those? Let us see. Now, I say SPRO. From SPRO, I say IMG. What is this IMG? Implementation guide. Implementation guide means consultant will be doing all the implementations now. That will be done from this particular screen. Okay. So this is how I'm navigating. Okay. Enterprise structure, definition, financial accounting. Okay. So this is how I'm navigating. If I go to define company, like this, I click, I will be able to go to internal trading partner. Just now we created internal trading partner called Tata Group. No, just now we created. How did we create? We went to command field OX15. Okay, so I have two options to go to this particular screen. I can go to the transaction code directly. I can give the transaction code in the command field and I can go directly to this particular screen, or with the help of navigation. Navigation means what? SPRO, IMG, from this navigating path. I will have a specific path to go to that particular screen. Okay, it is your wish. Whichever way you want to enter, it is your wish. If you remember the transaction code, you can happily go to that particular transaction. Otherwise, you can navigate. Now, as I told you, the organization structure for any project depends upon the type of business. Okay? See, like this. Company code. So multiple company codes. Company code means what? Legal entity. So multiple company codes or a single company code. And chart of accounts. Chart of account means it is a list of GL accounts. Okay. So under chart of accounts only, you will be able to see the GL accounts. Okay. The different GL accounts, bank account. Yeah. So transport request, as we discussed, it is a SAP mechanism for moving changes, configurations. Configuration changes means what? This is having some data in it. Okay.
Yeah, I
And
had a question on chart of accounts.
yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, why is it usually they have only a limited set of chart of accounts, even though there's many GL accounts?
Limited chart of accounts, you're
Yeah,
asking.
usually there's one or two chart of accounts, correct?
Yeah, but why do we have to use multiple chart of accounts? The GL
No,
account.
no. What's the purpose of chart of accounts when, say, most companies in you report only on like one or two chart of accounts?
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. Under this chart of accounts means it is a list containing all the GL accounts. Okay, so now the reason for having a single chart of accounts or one or two chart of accounts is simplification. Okay, now I have some 10 number of company codes. All these company codes, if I'm creating under the same chart of accounts, it will be easier for me. Otherwise, every time I will have to keep on creating each and every GL account for each and every company code. Do you think one or two GL accounts? No.
So we will be starting the session 1 from next week. Okay. I think already we have shared the batch schedule, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 7:30 p.m. CST. And people who are joining from India, it will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay, thank you very much.